Alrighty, so let's talk about Robert Eggers' newest movie, Nosferatu. Nosferatu. I'm pretty sure it's Nosferatu. Nosferatu. Yeah, so, it was a good movie. It was not a great movie, but it was a good movie. I thoroughly enjoyed it. So what we're gonna do here, so we'll have one section of this video be spoiler free, and the next section is gonna be spoilers. So if you wanna skip to spoilers, hey, see that timestamp? Click that right there. Or I don't know if I can have a click to it, but hey, skip ahead to that moment right there. So yeah, so spoiler free, it was a good movie. Do I think it's the best movie ever made? No. Is it the best Robert Eggers movie ever made? No. But was it a good movie, and did I enjoy myself? Yes. The best way I can describe this movie is like if you have a 5-star steak, like best steak in the world you've ever had is like right here, right? And this is other Robert Eggers movies. Like this is like, because I personally am a big fan of Robert Eggers. I love his films. The Viking, it was probably one of my most favorite movies of that year. It was phenomenal. So up here is Robert Eggers' past work, and then this is probably Nosferatu, okay? This is like ramen, microwave ramen, top ramen, right? This is still good. I will still eat the heck out of some top ramen, okay? But then you compare it to a 5-star steak, it just does not compute. It just does not. It's not the same. This is good, but this is better. You gotta go into the movie knowing what you're gonna watch. Okay, you're going into a Robert Eggers film. You're gonna see a lot of violence, extreme graphic nudity, extreme gross, over-the-top violence, lots of gore, esoteric, artsy, like a dream sequence type movie, right? Which is cool. I love those kinds of movies. I love Robert Eggers films. My complaint, and it's not a complaint, it is I don't want to say overhype either, but I think the hype train was too much for me, personally. And I can see why other people would, I think the general audience, I have not looked at interviews yet, I have not seen if it's doing well, if it's doing bad, this is just my own personal, authentic... It's okay. We're having a storm right now, so I think a branch just landed on my roof. And he does not like it. It's okay. It is... The general audience, I don't think, is gonna like it. Because knowing that most people are probably gonna go in and just want to see a vampire movie, and then, is what it is. It's a very long movie, okay? That's my first, not a complaint, because I like long movies, I like long drawn-out scenes, if it's done right. And I feel like most of the movie was done really well, personally, my opinion. What killed it for me, and that's a hard word to say, kill. It didn't kill it. I didn't not like the movie. It's just... It's hard to say without spoilers. It's just, if you know what you're walking into, I feel like that ruins the experience. So if you've never seen a Robert Eggers film, you don't know anything about Nosferatu, then you should have a genuinely good time if you like those kind of movies. However, if you know the story of Dracula, you know the story of Nosferatu, then it is just Robert Eggers' take on Nosferatu, which is exactly what it is. But that in itself is, I feel, the issue for me, personally, is that I knew the story of Dracula, of Nosferatu, of all that fun stuff. So I feel that his take on it was well made. I would have been more excited if I didn't know anything about Nosferatu and I didn't know anything about Robert Eggers. So, because I knew the story, I feel like the story's been done 1,000 times. He did a unique take on it. It was good. I enjoyed it. But I also feel like I've seen the exact same story and the exact same layout that they did it for. So it was just like a new rehashed skin of an older movie with newer graphics and little changes here and there. So it wasn't bad. I just don't think that it was great. And you know, if you've seen any of his movies, you know they're very original. They're very weird and crazy and just off the walls, crazy, bonkers, bananas even. And as far as I'm aware, they are not remakes of other movies or other things. They're usually like more historical, not historical, but more like, you know, part of the time movies, and just he created the own story, right? But I feel like with this, I don't understand why he made this. I don't know. I was hyped, and I think I overhyped myself for it, and I think that's what did it. It's just the overhype ruined it for me. And I don't want to say the word ruined, it just... I went into it expecting more, but then realizing that it was actually just a rehash of the same story done with Robert Eggers style, and that's it. And it's like 2.5, 3 hour longs. I probably won't go back and see it again in theaters. I'll watch it again when it comes out on like Prime or whatever, but I don't think I'm gonna go back and see it in theaters. Whereas I went and saw Viking 3 times in theaters. So that's my. It's still a good movie, and I do recommend watching it. Just I don't think you need to see it in theaters. And I'm really interested and curious to see what the overall review is going to be. So as soon as I'm done posting this video, I'm going to go and watch a bunch of the review videos, just because I usually do, whenever I see a new movie, I usually take a screenshot picture on my Snapchat, and then I give a quick little review. But I was really struggling doing that with this movie, and I felt like just a quick little small paragraph wouldn't quite do justice. So here we are, making this review video. Maybe I'll do this again for another video, maybe I won't. Who knows? We'll see how it goes. So anyways, review, I'm going to give it a solid 8 out of 10. And like I say, it's not bad. It's not the best movie I've ever seen. It's not the worst movie I've ever seen. But it's also not a bad movie. It's just... I don't know. I'm conflicted with this one. I really am. But that's good. Also, I'm glad I didn't dislike it. But I'm also not super ecstatic that I didn't love it. So, anyways. On to the spoilers. Okay, so spoilers. Okay, so literally, if you've seen like the Netflix Dracula show, I forget what it's called. Here's a picture of it right here. It's a fantastic miniseries. I love it. Highly recommend it. One of the best Dracula shows I've ever seen. Probably my favorite one. Where it's just Dracula, not a vampire. I'd say my favorite vampire movie would probably have to be Interview with a Vampire. But anyways, so if you've ever seen any of the other Dracula movies, anything else, it follows the same story, where you have the guy who's gonna go to the castle to meet the lord, the lord, and then he gets sick, and then you realize he's being, bamboozled by Dracula, and then he has to escape, and then he goes to a nun church place thing, I forget the name of it, and then Dracula, he goes on the ship, I forget the name of the ship, I think it starts with a D, and then he kills everyone on the ship, and then he shows up in England, and then he terrorizes England, and then he dies. Like, that's literally the plot in the same story here. Which is good. It's a good story. I like a Dracula story. It's good. It's just, I don't understand why Robert Eggers did his take on it. Because Robert Eggers he has a very unique, artistic crazy, bonkers way of filming things, and I love it. He's one of my new favorite directors, but I just don't know why he did his take on it when he could have done like his own unique vampire thing. Like if he did a whole other vampire story, kind of like The Witch or something like that, where it was like crazy ass vampire shit happening, then hey, I would have probably made it my most favorite movie, one of my new favorite movies. But because he followed literally almost shot for shot the same story as other directors have made, and then he kind of rushed it a little bit, and I was waiting for it to just the shit hit the fan, right? Because it's a Robert Eggers. You want to see the crazy action, bloody gore stuff and the over the top shit. And when it happens, it happens. It is phenomenal. It is crazy. The guy is fucking butt ass naked, and you see his dick and balls, and he's like stabbed, like writing blood in his like journal, and then he bites off a pigeon's head, and he's covered in blood, and he's just gross, and he's rubbing shit on the walls. And then when the plague shows up, and you just see the background's holy shit, like the background extras of just being killed and just the crazy shit going on in the background. It is so cool how he does it. It is really good. I really enjoyed that part. But then you have an extra 2 hours of just talking and the build-up, and I feel, hey Sebby, you know what's a good idea? You should totally start a video and then not have your phone plugged in, and then you should start the video when you're on 15%, and then your phone should die halfway through the video, so then you have to wait for your phone to charge. But while your phone's charging, you're working on like 3 other videos editing, and then you realize that 5 hours gone by, and here you are trying to keep up the same momentum as you did in a previous video, and here we are. So anyways, so the build-up, right? The whole story's building up to this crazy ending, and then it was like I really wanted there to be like some big fight scene or do some crazy shit, and there was some sad stuff like the Kick-Ass character, Aaron Taylor. He's a cool character, but then his wife dies, and then his kids, and then when his kids are killed, like he doesn't like Robert Eggers doesn't hold back any punches, and it shows him fucking killing the kids and then tossing their bodies over, and it's like holy shit, that just happened. And then you're like, okay, here comes this arc, and I want to see this crazy shit happen, and then he just fucking goes and fucks his wife's dead body, and then dies. And so I'm like, okay, well, there goes that character. I mean, all that build up, all that, like, just to have a weird death ending, which was cool. It was cool. It's just, you know, I wanted more. And then William Dafoe's character is like this crazy alchemist guy, and I was waiting for like maybe Van Helsing or something, and I was just waiting for this big fucking light. Did you just dial me? Okay, cool. Well, we're gonna finish off the video in the dark. Anyways, and I was just waiting for the big final thing, all the build up for all this crazy shit to happen, right? And then it turns out that the main girl, who has basically been having like visions and seizures and possessions the whole movie, she fucks him, and then they have this like little love moment, but then she's tricking the Dracula guy into sleeping with her so that he can die. And that scene was cool, gross but cool, because it's detailed of him fucking her, and he's all this like deformed, gross body just fucking this girl. And then he dies. His Dracula's death is really cool. He like all shrinks and shrivels up, and he starts gushing blood everywhere, and then he dies, and then she has like a peaceful death, and then the movie ends. So it was like all this crazy build up, all this lore digging, and all this crazy shit, and then it ends. So, like, the audience was pissed off. When the movie ended, I heard someone yell, "That's it!" And as they're walking away, like, people were saying, like, "Yeah, it was a cool movie, but that was really weird, and it was really, you know, um, uh, yeah, it was just, the more I'm talking about it, the more I kind of want to lower my rank on it to maybe like a 7 or even a 6, like a 6.57. But I don't know. It was good. It's just, I think it's a common case of the hype train. I was overhyped for it, and then it underdelivered. It's not even underdelivered. It's just, I don't know. This is a tricky one for me because it is a good movie. It's just, I feel like I keep saying that. It's like, it's a good movie, but it just, I didn't have that oomph that I was looking for. I just couldn't get the itch. I was just sitting there fucking scratching and itching, and I just couldn't get it. So for that, I'm gonna give it a final 7.5. I'm gonna give it a 7.5. And again, you should go see it. It's a good movie. It's just, if I was comparing it to his other movies, which is up here, and then his movies like here, the new one's here. So anyways, let me know what you guys think of it. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Are you gonna go watch it? Are you not gonna watch it? Tell me why. And that's pretty much it.